G'day everybody and welcome to the House of Mario, South Australian Nintendo podcast that is backed by a 120 Power Star rating. I'm your host Drew Agnew and the doors to episode 304 are open. Today on the show, I've got to ask Josh something, there's been something on my mind. Am I the arsehole? Because I had a bit of a situation today, Josh, where I picked up a game and I had to say, no, I do not want that. And they were a bit snarky about it. So I have to get your thoughts on that. But of course, this is Josh, or JT if you like. Josh, you got a stressful week ahead of you, mate, and one of the best days of your life, I dare say. It's your wedding week. Hope it's all going well and you're not too stressed. And actually, more to the point, I hope Michaela's not too stressed. Usually it's the bride that usually gets a little bit more antsy the week off.
Yes. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Saturday's a big day. Lots going on, but we're doing pretty well, I think. I'm trying to keep Michaela in check, and she's doing really well.
You got it.
And they're for support, there to help out wherever I can. And yeah, it's gonna be great. Saturday, it's been a long time coming now. Can't wait for that day. Can't wait to celebrate with everyone. And then, of course, Monday, a week from now, we'll be in Japan celebrating our honeymoon there. So it's a pretty special time right now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I can't wait for the weekend to be there and celebrate with you guys and have a sneaky beer here or there, I dare say.
Just a few.
Just a couple. Just a couple. Yeah, no, it's going to be great. And it's going to be a lot of fun. But Josh, I got to know, am I the arsehole? Because today
Yes.
I went into Big W and I went and noticed that Fire Emblem Engage and Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes was on sale. I think it was like 40% off, so it was $39. I'm like, because I'm starting to add physical Switch games, to my collection, ones that I really enjoyed. So it's not just like my library of Switch games. It's like it's going to be a very select few games that I feel like represent, Nintendo Switch for me, especially at the end of the Switch's life cycle where I'm really looking at it and being like, yeah, I want to actually, own the game. So I'm trying to pick them up when they're on sale or a little bit cheaper, whether it's secondhand or not. So I went up to the cash register and I said, can't we just get, Fire Emblem Engage and Fire Emblem Warriors? And the lady came back and she had a copy of each. And the copy of Fire Emblem Warriors had just on the top of the spine, like the slip cover obviously slipped up and it was a bit ripped and it was like white and frayed. I'm like, oh, sorry, Kipper is just I don't really like want it like that. Are you able to see if there's another copy? And she went back and just checked if there was another copy and she said, no, there's not. Sorry. I actually took a display copy up. It's like, are we able to just like swap the cover inside? She's like, oh, that means I've got to open it and move stuff around. It means I can't sell it. I'm like, oh, okay, well, don't worry about it type of thing. And so I bought Engage, and when I bought that, she's like, look after it. Like, snarky. And I was there with my 2 kids, with the pram. I'm like, that was my response. I'm like, okay. Because if I was buying that secondhand off of Facebook Marketplace or EB Games or whatever, I wouldn't have bought it there secondhand. I'm certainly not going to buy it brand new either. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. She got pretty snarky with me. It was at the end of the working day at Big W. I do understand, what it's like to work in retail and with the public. She could have had somebody who was pretty grumpy beforehand. I don't know. I don't know her story, but I don't feel like my request or me not wanting to get the copy after she brought it back because it was damaged and I was buying a brand new copy. I don't think that was too big an ask, really. But I've got to throw it to you, Josh. Me telling the story. Obviously, you're a bit biased towards me with mates. But what do you think?
You're an asshole, Drew. How dare you?
Oh no, I'm a prick.
You're a bloody idiot.
I'm a dirty
How dare
bastard.
you, man? Like what a stupid request. No. I think that's more than fair. It's meant to be brand new, like you said. And yeah, like you said, if you're going to go get it secondhand elsewhere, you probably wouldn't you'd probably look for another copy, wouldn't you? So, yeah, sadly, sounds like that was the last copy. I'm sure everyone else who wanted to buy that game would have picked up the other copies first, not wanting to get that one. So
Yeah,
just
well,
I
they
think,
keep them at the back. Like she goes to a drawer and pulls them out. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the situation might have
yeah,
been, but
not sure then.
yeah. I
No,
mean,
you're
what's the
entitled
point
to
of
do
me?
that.
Yeah, what's the point of me buying it? Like when it's like damaged, especially on the spine, where like I line them up, you'll be able to see it. I'll be maybe it'll be useful. It'll be like my little bookmark. Like, oh, there's Fire Emblem Warriors because it's just it's buggered. I can see it from the other side of the room.
Yeah, it would irk me off a lot. So yep, no, you are more than entitled. I feel everyone listening here would be on your side as well.
Yeah, I don't understand why it was such a thing. I'm like, oh, you know, I think some people just say like, look, the game's fine, like the game cart's fine, like the game works, it's all good. Why don't you just not worry about it? And I don't know, us
No,
us who are still getting physical games, we're a lot more fussy. We're not just like, oh, that's the game and that's it, and we're like. It's, when I'm getting like PlayStation 2 games, for example, or original Xbox games, like you've got to check the discs because I can only imagine like
oh yeah,
early 2000s people lighting up the bongs, just ripping them, just discs face down on the coffee table, being used as coasters for beers and all that. And 25 years later,
oh
gotta
for
make
sure, you got it. That's right, and especially physical media, does age, and you see that with the batteries and the Game Boy cuts, and even hearing the Wii U's. If you don't turn them on frequently enough, stuff can happen on the inside. So you got to be careful when you buy this sort of stuff. Let alone brand new things from the store. Yeah, yeah, definitely within your right to ask for that because it would irk me too if I looked at that in the display case and I could see it every time.
yeah, there's no way. Like I got it for a bit of money off, but it's still $40. It's not like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just get a completely damaged copy
No,
for that. So
correct.
yes, yeah. Well, so that was my thing today. But I got some other pickups, Josh. I went to one of the op shops here in town, and usually there's no games. I think last time I went in there was maybe a PC copy of Borderlands 2 or something. Like it was just, I'm like, okay. But I went in there and there was a heap of Wii games. I'm like, oh, so, and they had a bit of a thing there where it's like 550. I'm like, okay, what you got here? So I ended up getting a few things, and I think one of the most interesting thing, I got no idea what it's worth, but I got the House of the Dead Overkill Collector's Edition for Wii. And it's
Okay.
pretty cool. It comes with like the game, which is in really nice nick, the case and all that. But it comes
Yep.
with like a comic book here too, which is pretty cool.
Oh, cool.
So I got that. There was a copy of Tony Hawk's Downhill Jam. I didn't actually end up paying for this because I took it to the lady and there's no game. So
Ah,
it's just a case. And she was pretty frustrated because it's donations for charity, like this
Yes.
this particular shop. So it's like, why would you go in there and like steal a copy of a Wii game from donate? Like it's just
yeah,
some people do it. I don't know.
for sure.
Frustrating, but I offered to pay for the case, and she's like, "No, don't worry about it," type of thing. But I'm pretty happy I got the case actually because it's in immaculate condition. Like sometimes some of these cases, especially the white ones, get like pretty dirty.
Oh, manky as. Yeah, that's right.
All of the games that I get, I scrub the cases. I like get all the stickers off. I scrub them, all the crap off the top. I scrub them underneath, especially in like this the bit where you put your fingernail to get into the case.
Yes, yeah.
Scrub that. But this is in immaculate condition, so I don't know, might come in handy later, or if I can get a
Yeah, see
disc.
if you can get the disc on
Yeah.
eBay for some decent price.
Yeah, I'm sure it'd be pretty cheap. Or no, I'll probably just find it around, to be honest. Sonic Unleashed, got that. It was actually kind of funny because I got these two Sonic games. Lucas actually loves Sonic at the moment. He likes watching the movie, and we actually put some gameplay of Sonic Racing on the TV because there was a little slip cover advertisement in the Sonic movie DVD. We got it from the library. It's like, I want to watch Sonic Racing. So I thought, oh yeah, cool. So I got some Sonic games. Got Sonic Unleashed and All Stars Racing. And I got to be honest, I can't remember if I got these or not.
Okay.
Because it's been like a year since I bought like a horde of Wii games. I'm like, I can't remember. I remember getting like a couple of Sonic games, but I can't remember Unleashed. And so I don't know. for the it was. I got all of these games for $12. Oh, sorry, for $50, so it wasn't too bad. They got House of the Dead 2 and 3, little bundle in. Got a fair few EB stickers to get off of this one, but it's half the fun, I guess. And
Yep.
actually, not a Wii game, but Zombie U. Got Zombie U. Didn't have a copy of that.
Cool. Yep. Nice. I got one of those.
Very nice, yeah. So, cool. I'm like, yeah, why not? I'll get Zombie U. I haven't got it. And Disaster Day of Crisis. This is a Monolith Soft game that was made on the Wii.
Yeah.
I got this at the Toy Fair, Josh, but it didn't come with a manual. I'm like, oh, well, it is what it is. It's sort of a harder to find Wii game. So I'm actually very surprised in my hometown at the op shop. The Disaster Day of Crisis was just given in there. I'm like, huh, interesting. Well, I'll pick that up because with the manual, and it's actually in like great nick as well. The cases is in just fantastic quality. So, yeah, had a fun little pickup. I only just went for a walk just to sort of get out of the house because the kids are driving me a little bit nuts. So I went for a bit of a walk to just get out and about. But came back with some Wii games and had some fun.
Nice.
Got
Cool.
Fire
Add them
Emblem.
to the collection.
So yeah, I would have been had a nice productive little day as far as the collection goes. But yeah, just didn't come home with Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes.
Next time there'll be more sales for that game, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure there will be too.
Yeah.
It's just what I was a little. It's one of those things where I feel like Warriors is one of those games that will go out of print relatively soon, if you know what I mean. Like it's one of those
Yeah, it'd be a
Nintendo
rarer
games
one.
that won't be sticking around as long as like obviously the big titles. Because I think even like Horror Warriors and Age of Calamity, I don't see them around anymore as far as like being printed in places like Big W and just mainstream places. So yeah, I was like, oh, I'll pick it up, but oh well, it is what it is. If I never ever get a physical copy, will it be the end of the world? Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not. No. But yeah, I know you haven't been playing much, Josh, because of you've been flat out just organising a wedding.
Yes.
But what have you been thinking about at least gaming? You've been like consuming content. Have you been like thinking about what you want to play once all the wedding planning's finished, the wedding's over? Thinking about a bit of a wish list. I know we talked about a wish list in Japan for stuff you want to pick up. A couple of weeks ago as well. But have you been sort of what's your sort of week in gaming been, whether it's been gaming or just thinking about it?
So I've done a little. I did the Tetris 99 Donkey Kong Country Returns HD event. I always make sure to do them.
I always forget about them. Yeah,
2 or something over the entire. Like there's been 40 something of them over the years. That's always fun. Played a bit of Wario Land 4. So that's been my new thing this week. So that came out on Friday on Valentine's Day. Very, very probably not appropriate, but hey, anyway, Wario wants to be a bit of a romantic, I feel. That game's very fun. I did play a bit of it on the Wii U when I got that through the Virtual Console. Really funky, different way to platform. In the Wario, how he moves around, different dashing to break things. And obviously you get to the end of the level and you got a time limit to get back to the start and to the portal. And it's very cool and funky. So it's a really fun time. So I'm enjoying just that little different experience on the Switch. But man, I think overall, I'm just kind of waiting for this direct that's rumored to come this week.
Really?
Because I
This
kind of
week?
want Metroid Prime 2 and 3. That's on my mind. I would love a direct this week. And I would love to get a bit more of a feel for what's coming for the OG Switch over the next couple of months, because I think obviously we've got the Switch 2 Direct in early April, but that doesn't mean the Switch 1 games will stop from that point on. So really hope we get something this week, because the news, it's been a bit dry as well in the Nintendo front. Hasn't been a lot going on.
No, yeah, not much at all.
Yeah.
Got to make your own fun around here. We can't just rely on news from Nintendo. God, yeah. I am interested to see whether we get a direct, because I was sort of obviously it's on the tip of the tongue, especially this sort of deep into the month as well. So
Yeah.
like obviously there's still a lot of time. We're about halfway through the month, but it's like, is it just going to be a traditional end of life, for like for the Switch, like for most consoles, where it is just like not many games come out? Well, it's quite normal, really, to have a couple of months off between now and Switch 2. It's
Yeah.
sort of what most Nintendo platforms do. It's just we're so used to being, having a lot of choice when it comes to Switch, usually having a game every month or two. So, yeah, I don't know, but I hope
Definitely
there is.
possible. Definitely possible. I just figure, and from the talks I hear from the investor meetings, that they still want to support the Switch One while it's still selling, and I think most generations they've done that from a popular system to the next one. Still a bit of that extra support and that layover with developers making their games still for the actual platform. So, but yeah, definitely would expect a little bit of a slowing down. And I think if we can Switch One title every 2 months instead of pretty well every month like we have been for the last 7-8 years, then that's probably fair enough.
I'm just waiting for the Kid Icarus Uprising remaster remake. That's
Oh man,
I'm
that's
just waiting
perfect
for
for
that.
Switch 2 with the mouse controls. That's yeah. I'm going to be playing at this desk a lot more if that's the case. Like if the mouse thing's actually real and how they are going to convey it, then I can't really play it on my couch at home. I've got one of those what's it called, those dinner table things. We've got one of those. So I could just rest the mouse on that. But it might be more comfy here at my actual desk with my PC, plugging my Switch into that and going from there.
Yeah. Uh, just the idea of the mouse, it just cracks me up. I'm looking
Mm.
forward to seeing how Nintendo use it. But if it's literally just like how you use a mouse on a PC game, where it's like, you use it to aim and all of that. I think what the cool thing about it would be, though, because on PC, I don't mind using a mouse. Obviously, the control you get is just a lot more accurate than a stick. But the whole, like, if you're playing Call of Duty or a first person shooter or just any game, just moving around with WASD, not a fan of that. Like, out of all the accuracy you get from the mouse, just being able to move your wrist slightly, you use your whole arm, how you able to like put up the sensitivity and be able to utilize all that. But so your aim's great, but your movement just like is nowhere near as good as a stick that it is on like four keys. And then like to sprint, you've got to like hit spacebar and you've got to like move your fingers off of your movement to be able to get it. I know you can like have hotkeys and like buttons on your mouse, and PC gamers can just yell at me for getting all this wrong. But that's my biggest hang up there. But I've always like wished I could have like a Switch Joy-Con in my left hand and have like the mouse in the other hand. And you sort of can with the Switch too. You'll be able to like move around with the stick and use the trigger and everything, but also have the mouse on the other hand. So it'd be interesting to see just how people adapt to the controls. And
Mm.
if it makes many PC gamers out of people, like people might want to upgrade to a Razer mouse and play on a laptop or something after playing Splatoon 4
Yeah.
for a little bit and getting used to it.
Yeah, I think, like the Switch being handheld, created a whole new market for those handheld PCs. And it wouldn't surprise me if they follow suit in this. It's just Nintendo like casting a wider and wider net of ways to play their games now. And yeah, I think it's a really cool thing, and will open up a lot of opportunities and make a lot of games a lot more playable. You mentioned Kid Icarus, but like a Metroid, any first-person shooter, just gonna be so much better with the mouse control. Like it's like dual sticks are great, and I really love them, but I think like other people would prefer it, that way instead. Like even Pikmin and RTS, would be perfect for mouse controls. That would just be absolutely amazing. So yeah, I hope it seems like it's legit, but yeah, can't wait to hear more details.
Yeah. You talk about Kid Icarus, like even just upgrading to just dual sticks, that'd be amazing. Just from the 3DS's touchscreen setup, let alone to like the mouse. That was like, whoa, you're just clicking and shooting and just ripping all those enemies to shreds compared to what you were doing on 3DS. That'd be good.
And it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Just get your expectations really high, Drew, and keep going to every Nintendo Direct thinking it's gonna happen.
Yeah, just being putting all of my
You
eggs
can't lose.
in that basket, and if it doesn't happen, just be real upset.
Yep,
Really
correct.
upset. I'll send Sakurai a written letter. Ex- I'll just be toxic on Twitter. I'll start
That'll work.
calling everyone names. Just really get upset.
Yeah,
Make a video on my YouTube channel saying Nintendo sucks, sweaty
Nintendo shucks.
armpits.
I have no
They
idea.
smell like watermelon that's been left out in the sun for 2 weeks. That's a good title. Yeah,
That's
all
clickbait
that.
right there.
Yeah. But so yeah, no Belotro, nothing like that.
Not really. I think maybe a little bit earlier after we talked last Monday. I think I've gotten to the stage where I've really been able to like easily clear a deck and a hard difficulty now. So I'm kind of getting through those difficult modes now because you unlock a whole bunch of different decks, which have different sort of traits. Like one might have one less hand, one will change to different tarot cards you have. Some of them, like the money you get, and then there's difficulties you can apply to each deck. And so like you got to beat each deck on each difficulty to sort of keep progressing through the game. And so that adds a bit of longevity to it. So I'm getting some legendary jokers, unlocking them. They're unreal. They really changed the dynamic of the game. I had my best run the other week, and I think I had one hand that got like 1 billion points in one go. So I've never reached those points before. So it's like it's getting bigger and bigger and cooler and cooler. So it's yeah, it like even though like I've like played a lot of it already, it's like I'm still discovering new things. There's just so much complexity and variety to the game that it just sort of draws you in. Even when you think you're done for a little while, you're like, no, this is fun. I just want to get back into it and see the high scores I can get. So, man, once you start, you'll understand. You'll understand everything I'm saying, and you'll love it as well.
Yeah, that sounds good. Like, yeah, you're just still into it, still getting through it. What about Paranormal Site? Did you play any more of that? I haven't started yet. I'll get into, I guess why not? But have you played any more of that, or are you sort of saving that?
A little bit more. So yeah, I spent earlier in the weekend some time playing Paranormal Site. So, because I paused for a little because I had done one of the characters' main stories, and then I discovered it's a bit of a story tree. And so yeah, I'm doing the other characters now. So working through that, and it is really good. Yeah, just with a lot going on, it's just like I found I'm kind of not in the headspace as much, wanting to something like when I do find time to play games, just something a bit more relaxing. It's still
Yeah.
relaxing. I just got to read a bit more and sort of like there's lots of notes and things, and so you're trying to concentrate. So I've had a little bit of time over the weekend to do that, but I think at this rate I'll be playing it on the plane ride to Tokyo, which would be very cool. So I'll be yeah, because I smashed out MEO when I flew to Sydney for Nintendo Live last year. That was my plane ride game. I was able to smash out a lot of it and go through a lot of the chapters then. So I think that's like the perfect game for me on that flight.
Bit longer flight to Japan, so you have a
Yeah,
bit
yep.
more time at your hands. Yeah.
Got 3 hours to Cairns and then the 7 hours from there to Tokyo.
It's not really that bad a flight though, is it?
It's pretty direct from
yeah.
Adelaide, so it's yeah, the layover was like 3 hours as well, so not too long.
I haven't gone on a plane that's been longer than 4 hours. The furthest I've gone is New Zealand. So yeah,
Okay.
I dare say if I was sat down for 7 hours, oh my god, just give it the hell up. I need to straighten out. Actually, we got a comment on one of our episodes, I think a couple of weeks ago, from Seth Sturgill, who does the Cooper Cast, about Paranormal Site. He says, Paranormal Site, that was in my top 10 of 2023. Absolutely love that game. Lots of cool history behind it. If you dig into the development, it kind of ruined other games in the genre for me, honestly. I've still got to go back to MEO with a fresh perspective, not comparing it to Paranormal Site in my head. So, yeah, seems like it wrecked Emio for him. So it might surpass that in our view as well, which could be cool potentially.
Yeah, like I can definitely see how it could do that, and I've seen moments of it where, yeah, like, oh, this is cool, like, oh, Emio doesn't do this, so I'm sort of like really, yeah, taken back by that, and this is a bit of a modern visual novel, whereas Emio is, I think, a bit more old school. But that's not to say like I don't like it. Like, I think obviously I've talked about on the show how much I love Emio and how much I was really sort of impressed by the game and what I loved about it. And I think I mentioned it was because like more so the detective work, you're trying to solve a mystery, whereas this one didn't seem like it was like that at first, but then some of the other characters it is a bit like that. So you're getting that variety and touching on those aspects in Paranormal Sight as well. So yeah, it's still I'm not going to draw to conclusions just yet, because yeah, I haven't like a lot going on, so the headspace hasn't quite been there for it. But yeah, I'm just so glad I got to play this and see some of the things now before I actually get to Tokyo, because I'm going to have a fair chunk of this game done by the time I actually land there, and I'll be able to see some of these places for real in person, which is a bit surreal, I think.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
I'll make sure that I'm finished with it by the time you get back. I've got plenty of time.
plenty of time.
Got a few weeks, so yeah, I'll make sure we talk about it when you get back. Because yeah, it'll be. Dare say it sounds like the type of game with a lot of things that might shock us or impress us or whatever have you. So we'll have a. Don't know. Should we dedicate an episode to it? I don't know. We'll think about it towards the time anyway. So if anybody wants to play it with us who hasn't played it already, go and check it out. It's not on sale anymore, but not that I've looked since. But
We won't know anymore because we've already bought it.
Yeah, that's right. We'll never know again. Nintendo's like, no,
Too bad.
you can't know anymore.
They're all sneaky like that, aren't they? They just don't let you know.
Yeah. I mean, it could be useful. It could be like, oh, look, this game's on sale, and you could recommend it to your friends. But no, it's just a big secret. They won't even tell you the price. They're like, no, you got it. You don't need to know. Move on.
Yep.
They should do a gifting, like you can gift games. That'd be useful. I don't know how many games I'd gift though. I'm a bit of a tight ass. For you, Josh, I'll gift the game to you.
Mr. Buying everything physical and handheld devices. And
that's right. That's right. Tight ass when it comes to gifting digital games.
when you don't own it.
That's right.
I'd do that because I buy stuff for Michaela. Like we give each other gifts. That's our way of showing affection. So yeah, I'd love that feature. That'd be great.
Yeah, it'd be good. Like even if it's like a game that's under $10, like, oh look, just randomly like gift it to people. Like, yeah, you got to play this. So you just put it on their plate, up their backlog automatically, without any input from them. Stress them out. Take some couple of years off their life just because they're so stressed because they've got to play through, I don't know, Pikmin 3 because it was on sale and you gifted it to them. Like, oh, I quite like Pikmin. You should play this.
That's true. That might create a bit of, you need to play this now because it's been gifted to you. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's Nintendo's sort of thoughts. Just like, look, we don't want to stress out our players. Buy what you want. We don't want anyone putting anything else on your plate. That's good on you, Miyamoto. Very nice of you.
Yeah. That's probably the reason. Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Well, Josh, I built most of my retro gaming cart this week. I got a brand new CRT. Well, not a brand new one. I got a CRT TV on a trolley. I got my what do I have on it? I have a NES, SNES, 64, 2 GameCubes, Wii, PS2, original Xbox, PS3, and a Dreamcast. My Dreamcast come in. So I got those on the trolley. I'm just waiting for some cable management stuff to come from Amazon to like tie it all together, lock it all down. But I put a couple of photos in the Discord, just what it looks like at the moment. I'm pretty happy with it. Looks good. Got a nice CRT TV. The thing about the CRT TV though is I don't remember this as a kid when we had one when they were like the relevant technology, but turned it on and there's like this high pitched sound that plays when it's on. Apparently this is normal for CRT TVs. And I do not remember this as a kid hearing a high pitched sound like when watching TV. I'm like, is there something wrong with the TV? And I've actually got like a smaller one that my parents had in the kitchen back in the day. And I actually used that in my bedroom when I lived out there, and I had my NES, oh sorry, Super Nintendo plugged into it. So I used that one quite a bit in my bedroom, and I turned on that one as well, because it's got this high pitched sound as well. I'm like, I do not remember these TVs making that sound. I don't know whether it's just like the age, or this is what they sounded like back when we were using them, but it's at the point where I find it hard to use. And after, like, I was playing a bit of Mario Kart Double Dash on it
Yeah.
for a little bit in the bedroom, and when the sounds coming out the TV from like the audio of the game, it's not too bad. But when I'm finished for the night, turn off the TV, I got like a ringing in my ears, like it's like a real high pitched sound. It's
That'd
at
be
the
annoying.
point, yeah, it's at the point too where like Chantel can't stand it. So I'm like, man, it's kind of, I've got like this, I got the setup, but now it's just like
It's not practical.
it's not practical at all. No.
Yes. Which tends to be the case with the older technology, doesn't it?
Yeah, but yeah, I just did not because there's a YouTube channel I watch. There's a lot that I watch actually, like to do with like retro gaming and stuff. And they have like their CRTs in the background, like playing something just in the as the backdrop. But if I did that, there'd be like this horrendous high pitched sound in my audio, like if I was doing a YouTube video or a podcast or something. Like there'd be no way I'd be able to be playing it in the background.
Just wouldn't work.
Yeah, there'd be no way. It would just be this awful sound the whole time. So yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed in that. But apart from
Yeah,
that,
it's annoying.
yeah, it's a nice CRT. It's a Panasonic. It's 68 centimeters. So it's a relatively big one, and yeah, it looks good. It's just just that sound. Like I literally have to put it in a different room and maybe put headphones on and play my game that way. I don't know. I don't know
It's not the same, is it?
exactly how I'm going to do it. But I'm happy with the picture and everything. It's pretty cool. But yeah, can't say I sort of I took that into factor when it comes to getting a CRT.
No.
My parents have my grandma's old TV, which is an old Sony. What were they called again? What are those older TVs called? I forgot.
Plasmas?
Plasmas, yes, thank you. They got an older plasma with like all the ports and that. I'm like,
Yeah.
I know it's not the CRT feel, but I could swap it over for that one. I don't know. But anyway,
Yeah,
it's just
maybe.
yeah, don't know. Probably
You
not.
wanted CRT, though. You wanted them grainy lines across the,
Yeah, that's right.
the
Exactly.
thing as you played it.
Yeah. So yeah, no. So that was a little bit frustrating, but it's cool to have like my trolley set up with just like all the Nintendo consoles and PlayStation and Xbox. I'm looking forward to actually like diving in and playing a few games. I want to play especially GameCube. I'm waiting to sort of get my mods for the GameCube, the flippy drive. I've put my pre-orders in. I've got I'm in for the second batch that comes out in April. So flippy drive, it's just a really easy modding solution for the GameCube. All you do is take off the cover, you screw it in, and you put the ribbon cable into the disk drive bit. You can keep the disk drive because there are some mods where you got to take the disk drive out, throw it away, essentially, and then replace it. But this, you can use the optical drive and like the flippy drive, which is pretty cool. So
Cool.
and it's got like a modification for the back too. So it's got Ethernet, so you don't have to get the I don't know, the LAN add-on that goes on the bottom. I forgot what they called it back in the day, but yeah. So I'll have that, so I'll be able to play LAN between my two GameCubes, which will be fun. So I'm going to have a setup so when people come over, we can play like Mario Kart Double Dash, and that's pretty much like the main LAN game. But there's a bunch of like homebrew stuff
Baby
where
Park.
yeah, just baby park boys.
Baby Park, baby. Oh yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to. I'm really in the mood for playing some GameCube games. It's just I won't have that set up until April, but I've been just having a real hunger just to play the Animal Crossing on GameCube. I'm in the mood for Animal Crossing. I don't really want to play.
Ready.
Yeah, I don't really want to play
You're ready for a new one.
Horizons, so I kind of just want to go back and play the original Western one. The just sink my teeth into that one for a little bit.
Yep.
Have a setup on my GameCube. I turn that on every day. Play a bit of Animal Crossing. Want to do Mario Sunshine on there.
So good.
Yeah, because I haven't played through all of Mario Sunshine before. I've always started it and jumped
Oh,
around and
really?
did some levels. Yeah, I've never gone through and finished it. I've always
I mean,
always
yeah,
started it. But
it's tough. Um, yeah, and then I never did it until properly until the Switch version because I had always, got stuck without looking up a guide on how to get all the extra things that they cram into this one because it's, it's not great game design towards the end when they're just making you, jump around collecting all these blue coins and all the hidden ones everywhere. Bit of a rush job, but
are they required for the story? Are they? I've always
no,
heard
no,
about
no, they're not. They're not.
they're
If
not
you just
okay.
want to, get to credits, then yeah, you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, are you
But
going
I
for hundred
suppose for
percent?
me, from a completionist point of view, more so what I'm talking about. Yeah,
All right, you went for 100%, did you?
yep, yep.
Oh,
I got
you
my
mad
100.
lad, mad lad.
That was fun. Yep, yep. Sunshine's one of those weird fun games.
I've always enjoyed like just the Mario Sunshine's always been one of those games where it's been the most coziest game for me just to watch on YouTube with like a voiceover.
Yeah,
Just like the whole island aesthetic and Delfino Plaza just feels like such a place, which I always appreciate. Just mucking around there, jumping around top of the buildings, and
yep,
jumping around and eating fruit as Yoshi, and yeah, there's something really cozy about it to me. Even
yeah,
though like I don't have like a lot of nostalgia for it. I didn't own a copy when I was a kid, and I haven't played through it, but it's always been a game that I've enjoyed jumping into and
yeah.
playing.
It's
And
got a cool coziness to it. That yeah, and um, I just love the idea. I played this with my brothers, the GameCube version, and we just check in every day, taking turns. We're on the same island. You're not sharing like some of the others, so it was just very fun, very fun.
yeah, no, definitely. I feel like Mario 64 and Mario Sunshine, they both have a coziness about them that from Galaxy on, there isn't really that coziness. I love Mario Galaxy. Mario Galaxy is one of my
Mm,
all-time favorite games. It's a masterpiece.
yeah.
But
So I
it
was talking,
doesn't.
Animal Crossing before, but yes, yeah, Sunshine as well. Yeah,
Mm,
yeah, my
yeah,
bad.
but it just it doesn't have that coziness as the first two, and that might just be my age where you know I was still pretty young when Galaxy came out. I was only 12 or something. Well,
Yeah,
12 I think when that came out.
yeah.
So yeah, well, it might just be like the cold feeling of space, just the endless void where it feels like you're going to float off and die. There's no one around. Um, if, I don't know if you got if
Yeah.
you go onto YouTube much and you check out your recommendations, but there was a recommendation for a video essay called like it was something about the emptiness, like the sad emptiness of Mario Galaxy or something. And I didn't watch it. It seems interesting, but it's kind of makes you laugh. It's like this like real happy, joyful game. It's just like got these like pretty depressing themes just because it's based in space.
Yeah, please link that to me. That would be very funny to see.
Yeah, I have to look it up. But yeah,
Yeah,
I saw it in my like on my homepage or whatever. I'm like, yeah. So yeah, I've been just tinkering around a little bit. I got to be honest, Josh. Just like the
mm,
last few weeks, um, especially since like Luke's birthday party, just it's been like a lot just to stay on top of like the housework and keep a clean area.
yep,
And when I don't have like a clean area, I find it really hard to game. Like
for
you know,
sure.
like you might be the same. Obviously, probably not to the maybe the extent just with kids and all of that. But
Yes.
when you've got like a messy area, it's just hard to just be in the right headspace for me. So um, yeah, the last couple of weeks has just been not very good. I just sort of prefer just to go to bed and watch YouTube and depress that way or decompress that way.
No, fair.
But should be better this week. I hope we're sort of on top of it a little bit more um, after all that. But yeah,
That's good.
it's been hard to sort of jump into new stuff, especially. So
You go in the right mental space for that, don't you? And it's
yeah,
not going to happen all the time, and that's fine.
yeah,
But just when you're ready, they'll always be there.
yeah. It's always there. It's just harder when it's like you do a podcast. It's like fuck, it's Monday and I didn't play anything.
Yeah.
that's when it gets a little bit more tough, isn't it? Because it's like obviously if you're not podcasting or making content or whatever, if you don't play a game for a month, it doesn't matter. Hopefully you've been enjoying your time elsewhere. And
That's right.
whatever makes you happy, that's all good. But when it's like people tune in, it's like I've been playing nothing for like the last month. It's like, oh, come on, boys. Do you even like games?
It's all right. No, yeah, it's all about fun. That's the main thing. But yeah, I get you with the creating the podcast, and you want to keep having things to play and talk about. And when you do find the good things and it's fun and enjoyable, it's no effort at all.
I mean, and there's no way I can force it either because that's what I think, right? It's like, well, we've got to try and at least play something during the week. But yeah, like I said, the last couple of weeks I haven't really played anything, and like I cannot force it. If I'm really not in the mood for it, I cannot force it. There's no forcing me to sit down and play it that way. But I've just been enjoying tinkering. I've been really enjoying doing this gaming trolley stuff. It's been a bit of a obsession, just getting that all together and try and work out the sound for the TV. But apart from that, it's all good. I replaced my battery in my PlayStation Vita, which was a launch model. I got that day one when it came out, and the battery was literally dead. Like there was no flashing light, there was nothing. It was dead. So had to replace that, and it's not just a simple take out the battery compartment and swap it in. I had to like take it right apart, unclip some things. It was a bit of an operation. So it was a bit of a warm up for my OLED screen swaps I'm going to be doing on these switch lights whenever that comes in. So yeah, a change over the battery, and actually, Josh, I did some crimes. I modded my PS Vita after I'd swapped the battery. You can do like a lot of things with a modded Vita, which is pretty cool. But you can actually like run an app that basically emulates a PSP, so you can have the whole PSP dashboard and PSP games that you download and put on this thing. It's just like you're playing a PSP, which is cool. And PSP is a handheld that I never had as a kid. I was a DS fanboy. I was a Nintendo fanboy. And I was also a kid. I couldn't afford a $400 handheld. Because I always remember, I had my two friends, Adam and Jordan, over at my house. And we were watching A Current Affair. In A Current Affair, they were going over the big new hot handhelds that came out that year. And it was about Nintendo DS and PSP. And they compared them at the end, like, Nintendo DS has these games, does this, whatever, $200. PSP, play movies, your music, do all the stuff, $400. It's like, there was no way in hell I was getting a PSP. $400, there was not a chance in hell. And quite frankly, at the time and my age and my interests, there was no games I wanted to play either. But now as a 30-year-old, looking back on it and sort of enjoying diving back into older stuff, there's a lot of PSP games I want to dive into. And PSP was actually like a really good racing console. Like, it has like so many racing games, like Burnouts and Need for Speeds. I was playing Crazy Taxi on here, and
so good.
Yeah, Crazy Taxi. It's just a Crazy Taxi 1 and 2 as they were. I'm like, interesting, because early in the week I was playing Crazy Taxi on Dreamcast, and I was quite enjoying it because my Dreamcast is a Japanese Dreamcast, and it came with 6 games, and Crazy Taxi was one of them. And I was playing on there, just testing it out and making sure it works and all of that. And today, playing Crazy Taxi on the PSP, I'm like, it's just like the exact same thing, but on a PSP. That would have been so impressive back in the day. That would have been unreal. It was like the same generation, almost like a few years after the Dreamcast, and pretty much concurrent with the PS2. So, yeah, there's if anything, it's just cool to have all those racing games on it, just to pick up and play a bit of Burnout, to play a bit of Crazy Taxi, and stuff like that. There's a few RPGs in that too, but I'm glad I modded it, because the main thing for me was why you want to mod one of these things is I actually got the biggest memory card you can get on the PS Vita. It's 64 gigs. The 64 gigs, it doesn't get you that far. Because I got a terabyte in my Switch, for example.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, funny that.
But you can get this adapter, which is a micro SD card to Vita adapter, which goes into where the game cards go. And then you've got to mod your Vita to actually be able to use it. So that was good for that too. So I've got like 250 gigs now instead of 64, which is nice. Yep. So yeah, and of course you can do crimes too.
Of course,
you can do crimes. So I've pretty much got you can get what you want pretty much, which is nice. Sony doesn't care about it anymore, so oh, yeah.
No, yeah. They're not going to do a PSP Mini because that's the PSP Mini right there in your hands.
That's right.
Yeah,
right here.
So yeah. I always wanted one as a kid because they look so cool. Like, PlayStation games, but in your hands. So it was just, yeah. It was the price. I remember it, the $400 price tag back then was amazingly high. And I was never going to get it as a kid.
Yeah, that's right. Like, if we were the age we were now, and like the PSP, it would have been really appealing. Yeah. Like, oh, wow, look at these games, a bit more mature. You can get the Grand Theft Autos, you can play your music and watch movies and stuff. Especially before even iPods and all of that were doing it back then too. Like, it's really quite impressive. Because I used to be obsessed with being just the idea of having movies on your iPod or even my DS. I remember putting what did I put on my? I put something on my R4 card on my DS. It was an Adam Sandler movie. It was like Don't Mess with Zohan.
Really?
I watched that once and it was on my DS Lite. Just because I could.
2000s summed up right there. Yep.
Yeah.
Some vibes.
Because I remember to get like the media file to be able to watch movies on an R4 card on DS. It was like a really weird low quality format. So I watched it like as blurry as anything on this tiny little DS Lite screen. But it was just like it's just cool to be able to do it. So yeah, having that on PSP would have been pretty cool. All those little UMDs, chuck them in.
UMDs, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because even though that I'm playing it on Vita, I've never really like interacted with a PSP. I've never had to like pop it open, put the UMD in, close it up, hear the spinning. I kind of want to do that, but like all of these consoles, a lot of the prices have gone up just because people are looking back into these things, especially handhelds. Like the Switch has just blown the handheld market right open, and people are like, oh, I want to look at PSP, I want to look at Vita, I want to look at DS, 3DS, Game Boy Advance. Like, a lot of these devices aren't like dirt cheap to get. They actually might be even a little bit expensive for some of them. But yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
I'm enjoying my retro gaming, Josh.
Yeah, don't have to be playing stuff. You can be modding things. That's still part of the hobby.
That's right. But I think we've passed it. I'm looking around, and famous last words. It could change tomorrow, but the house is clean. I've got Switch. I've got plenty of games to play on that. Got my modded Vita. Got my retro gaming cart. Got stuff on. I got like it's all set up now. So we're all good. We're in the clear. We'll see what we play. I started playing God of War on the God of War collection on Vita. And I think that's one series I want to get through this year. I want to go through God of War 1, 2, 3, the PSP games, and then 2018 and Ragnarok. That's what I want to do. Not Nintendo, obviously. Won't be able to talk about it like full on here, but that's something that I've been wanting to do for ages. So yeah, no. And of course, Paranormal Site, better do that as well.
Please do.
Please. I'll get distracted. I'll play something else. I don't know. I guess just we're talking about PlayStation. Obviously, some of these games are coming to Switch as well. But did you check out the PlayStation State of Play by chance? Any of the trailers from that?
I did. Yes.
I actually forgot about it for a couple of days because I haven't had social media on my phone at all. So I haven't been checking Twitter or Blue Sky, and I was on. The only thing on my phone is YouTube, and I probably should get rid of YouTube too. That's probably the biggest problem. But I came across like the trailers on the YouTube channel, so I spent like a little bit of time just going through the trailers. I didn't actually watch the presentation; I just watched the trailers. It was actually like a lot of games that I'm actually kind of looking to get into, which is pretty cool. One of them, which is coming to Switch, like the Shinobi game,
Mm,
that looks
looks great.
fantastic, doesn't it?
Yeah,
And that
looks fun.
comes out in
Excited for that.
May, just from
August, I think.
it's August. Yeah, well, it comes out in a few months ish, I guess. But
Yeah.
yeah, that looks great. I'm looking forward to digging into that one. I don't know whether it's like a Metroidvania or what it is necessarily, like the format of the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, I kept trying to find whether it was that. It's action adventure is what I saw, and obviously, I don't know. Like on the Xbox game store, they have Metroidvania as a category, so other gaming companies can do it. But yeah, it seems like it could be, or if it's not, it's something very similar.
Hmm. Yeah, because yeah, it just looked like the art style was just gorgeous, and I feel like after playing and like having a Dreamcast and like looking a lot more into like the Sega consoles, have like honestly a bit more respect for Sega and what they've done and like their franchises. So them reviving their franchises, I'm a lot more intrigued than I maybe once was because there was a
Mm,
Shinobi game. I feel like around launch or first couple of years on
yep.
3DS, and I never like batted an eyelid at that game when it was on there. I don't know what the quality of it was. I think it was pretty good, but um, yeah. But now it's like, yeah, I'm actually pretty keen to give it a go.
Yeah, that's fun. And then they're reviving Crazy Taxi as well. A whole bunch of new
Mm,
old IP. Sorry. Um, yeah, how good? How good?
yeah, I mean, there's a few games. I'm just going to scroll through them here. Um, there's a brand new Digimon RPG announced too,
Yes,
which I was pretty excited about. Digimon Time Stranger.
I did think of you
Uh,
when I saw that.
did you? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll play that one. I think like obviously there's a lot of games here. I'm like, oh, I want to play that. It just comes down to time for the most part. Or when
Yep.
it comes out, will I have the time free to play an RPG? Most likely not. But the thoughts there. Um, there's a game called Dream of Another too, which looks pretty cool. How like you're shooting things to like create instead of destroy, which is pretty cool. It's
Very
made
different.
yeah. It's made by the teams that made like the Pixel Junk games, and these are like smaller, bite-sized indie games that were on PSP, PS Vita, all of that back then. So that'd be interesting. I don't know if it's coming to everywhere or not, but yeah. What else is here that could be on Switch too? Onimusha actually is that's a franchise from Capcom I want to try a bit more. They re-released the original game a few years ago now, and they announced like a brand new Onimusha 4, and they're doing a remaster of the second game. So that's a series I'd like to give a go.
Yeah.
From what I heard, it's like similar to, I guess, similar setup to Resident Evil, but um, instead of a gun, you've got like a sword. So that's sort of like what I understand. So that seems pretty cool.
Yep.
Uh,
Metal Gear
uh,
Solid. You're gonna get that.
yeah, I think so. I would like that. There's a few series I want to catch up on that I'd like to play in full. God of War's one, and Metal Gear Solid's actually another one. I feel like I want to play one and two before I get this. So depends where I am on that journey. If it comes out and I haven't played the other ones, I'm not diving straight into three. But where
Yep.
are you on your Metal Gear sort of playing? Did you end up finishing one?
I got stuck on a boss and I didn't know how to do it, so I needed to look it up, and I just never got around to doing it. So I want to
Yeah.
get back into it again because I was enjoying it. It was a fun time, and just how different that experience is to a lot of other games. Yeah, I'll get back to it.
Because there's some games here too, when we're looking at whether it's Xbox or PlayStation events, the third party stuff, we can sort of look at it and be like, like, will that be like a Switch 2 port later in the year? That's the kind of mentality we can sort of have at the moment. Whereas like Metal Gear Solid, I feel like that could be potentially a launch title depending on when Switch 2 comes out, to be honest
Yeah,
with you. Like
for sure.
from Konami, this is a game that could very likely be a launch title. It just if you have a PlayStation or an Xbox, it just comes to the point where it's like, oh well, it's a very pretty game. Do you want it to look as good as it does
Yep.
on those consoles, or you're happy sort of playing it on Switch too, where I don't know what it will look like, but just assume it won't look as good. But apart from that, yeah, Housemarque had a brand new game. Was it Seros? That looked pretty cool, but
Yes,
that
one
was a
at the
very
end.
quick, just no
Didn't
gameplay
see
trailer,
much.
so
No.
nothing to talk about there.
The Midnight Walk, that was funky. The look at that game.
Midnight Walk, yeah. Let me have a look. Just scrolling through the list here. What was it about, Josh?
Oh, it was, I don't know, it just got Tim Burton vibes from it. I don't know, hard to describe really, but you're just walking around and very sort of weird looking kind of game. You're trying to you're
Oh,
shooting
yes.
things around.
Yeah,
Um,
this was at a previous state of play. I'm like, yeah,
oh, was it?
it got my attention there too. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I reckon I would like to play it. Comes out May 8th. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and
Um,
it's a VR game, but also you can buy it on the standard
yeah,
like non VR version as well.
it would be trippy as hell in VR. You could you could imagine.
Yeah, yeah, it would be.
I think one of my biggest sort of things from the show that I was excited about was Sonic Racing Crossworlds. So a brand new kart racer Sonic game, and yeah, it looks cool. It looks really cool how like you drive through the rings and they're portals to basically other worlds. And I don't know. I can see that being a lot of fun, really wacky. You got like different vehicles. You got planes. Looks like you got like the boards from Sonic Riders as well in there. So yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. I'm definitely picking it up. It's just like hopefully it's not close to Mario Kart. That would be Sega's biggest worry, I would assume. Like you can't have this next to Mario Kart. Like even
No.
if it's better, like even if they made a better game, like it's just
Oh yeah, it's
yeah. Pick
yep,
your release timing.
yep. So when's it coming out? May.
I don't know. Does it have a release date? I remember they said that they have like a what do you call it? Like a maintenance test type of thing going on. If you sign up for it,
Yeah,
I don't think they had a release date.
this could flop so hard if they're not careful.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it will be a Switch 2 game, so
Yeah, it's coming to Switch. Yeah.
yeah. Well, it's original Switch 2. Cool. Um, yeah, because it would be good. I enjoyed Transformed. I got Team Sonic Racing, which was the most recent one, and like you're forced to be on teams. So it's kind of like playing Mario Kart, but always being on a team. It's like it's not fun. Like it's just I want to race by myself. I want to be I want like the first place to be mine, not like the teams because everyone's points are amalgamated to like beat the first. So yeah, I'm glad that they're getting rid of that. But yeah, there's a lot of games here that I'm like pretty excited to get. Some that aren't coming to Switch. But probably the last one that did come to Switch was Warriors Abyss. So this is like a roguelike Warriors game, and it
Yes.
looks really cool. And I've had my eye on it. I've added it to my wish list. I've got plenty of other stuff to play at the moment, and it's $36, so it's like it's just out of that amount where it's like an easy impulse buy.
Yeah.
Like if it was like 20 something, it would have been like, oh
Bit
yeah,
easier
cool,
for
that
you.
looks fun. I'll give it a go. But yeah, it's a little bit out of that price range, so
Yep.
I'll wait a little bit. But yeah, that type of gameplay with like the roguelite element, it's just like kind of perfect. Just going through hordes and hordes of enemies and upgrading and that as you go and doing the combos and everything. So yeah, it seems like a lot of fun. So yeah,
Cool.
it was actually a great show. I got to be honest. Like there was a
You
lot of
enjoyed it?
sort of there's a lot of sort of poo pooing the event, but I like we started to play as I don't go into it with any expectations at all, but I always come out of it with like a decent amount of stuff that I'm looking forward to, and especially when it comes to like PlayStation and Nintendo, I always come out of those events just because like I feel like those two published games that I'm excited to play, whether it's like JRPGs or platformers or story-based games or action games. They kind of cover all of those games, so I'm usually pretty happy
Mm.
when I come out of it. And add some stuff to my wish list. But yeah,
Yeah, I thought it was all right. Yeah, some cool announcements, release dates for a couple of other things, but yeah, I don't know. Obviously, I'm not a big PlayStation guy. Like that's my my console when I want other things outside of Nintendo. But yeah, it was fun. Interested me enough with a few other things announced.
yeah. Oh, I do. I am looking forward to a Sonic Racing though, but maybe not
Release it
when it's time for
now
launch.
or late next year. Anything later this year is just gonna
Yeah, I
no
just
one's gonna look at it.
like right now, I would eat one up. But
Correct.
yeah, if Nintendo show me like the new Mario Kart, it's just because it's just been such a long time between Mario Kart games where it's like I'm hungry
100%.
for like a quality kart racer.
Yep,
But
that's right.
Nintendo's going to be giving that to me. So yeah, man. All right, Josh, we've just been recording for an hour. Anything else you'd like to touch on, or is it time to get out of here so you can have some rest and get back to your wedding planning?
Yeah, I'm all done. Yeah, Nintendo is going to take a break as well, so they'll be back in a few weeks after all my little holidaying. So you should be listening to that as well.
Yeah, yeah. A little bit of a hiatus. Josh is on vacation. Everyone, you put a little sign at the front, being like away on holiday. Leave any notes in the jar that you put at the front door, and
I'll get back to it when I get back.
yeah. No, I hope you have obviously a great wedding and everything, and of course everybody like send Josh some nice messages, whether it's on the Discord or whatever social media you follow him on or anything like that. Just let him know that you wish him the best, and like this guy definitely deserves like a amazing wedding. He's gonna have a great time with all of his closest people. So it's gonna be great, dude. I can't wait. We're really
you.
looking forward to coming up and celebrating with you guys. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
It's gonna be so good. Can't wait. Big weekend coming up in a few weeks after that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So you better do show and tell when you get back too. Be like,
Oh, I'll have so many things to talk about. Don't you worry.
yeah,
So
no, I
many
can't
things I
wait.
would have seen and bought and played.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to hear about like all the stops, all the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be great. All all the monkeys, with their red bums in the
And the deers.
spas
and
you've been
all
saying.
the- Yep. Yep. all the animals, the cats.
Yeah, the cat cafes. Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
You're not gonna do. Sorry, I can't even talk at this time of night. You're not going to know what to do with yourself at a cat cafe. You're just gonna be overwhelmed by cuteness. You're gonna be patting every cat.
Yes. Yeah, I reckon. Interested to know how they keep the hygiene factor with it with all the cats and all the food. But
Well, here's
yeah,
the secret, Josh. They
they
don't.
don't. If your cat doesn't steal my food or shit on the plate next to me, something like that,
You go in there, there's just cat crap
Yeah,
everywhere.
everywhere. That's that smell. Yeah, they've done something.
Oh, just the eye-watering smell. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh dear. Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, I won't be on the House of Mario for the next few weeks. What are you doing, Drew? The House of Mario while I'm away.
Well, I don't know just of yet, Josh. Haven't organised anything. I'll probably ask some nice people to come on and talk about Nintendo with me, and it sort of depends. Maybe not much has been going on, and yeah, I don't know. There's no plans yet.
Yeah.
No plans yet. Honestly, yeah, haven't had to think about it for a long time, Josh. We've been doing it for every week for for a fair while, so it's kind of like
Every year now.
yeah. What do I have to do? I have to work for it. I have to go and seek someone out.
Always do a solo.
Could do a solo. Could be anything.
You want to hope there's some Nintendo news or a direct in the meantime?
Yeah, that's right. Do a solo with absolutely nothing to talk about. Yeah,
Correct.
it's tough. But anyway, we'll figure it out next week, everyone. Josh, thank you very much for joining me, and
My pleasure.
everyone else, thank you very much for joining us for episode 304 of the House of Mario. Be sure to go and check out Josh's other Nintendo show, Nintendvania, his solo Nintendo podcast. He's got a big backlog. Go and catch up on it all while he's on holiday. Listen to it and think about what he's up to over in Japan. It's like, what's he up to? Is he looking at blossoming trees? Is he patting the cat? Is he picking up some nice retro games at some cool retro store? Is he at the front of Nintendo's Kyoto headquarters? Don't know.
Yes, I will be.
Whatever's best, think of that. But until next time, guys, the doors to the House of Mario, they're closed. Catch you later.